All right.
Bye. Really fast.
And we'll go. Good evening. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 4. I'm just trying to give you a visual on it this week so you can see what's going on side body as well as front body. But you can't tell so much when my elbow's going here, but you can tell if I'm doing this now or whether I'm dropping it to the side, which is important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you're doing these exercises, it should be a great sense of flow and energy. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, so we'll have to start in front of the base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. No fun for them. You shouldn't see. Test here. Naughty girl. Okay, and now across the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Your turn. You show off. Okay. Doesn't matter with your hands are like you doing. You're kind of there. It doesn't matter. Okay. Bishop. All right, down on that. Okay. So just a reminder, I let the weight of my arms come onto my legs. Should be no gap here. I'm looking to drop my forearms onto my legs. I'm moving from the tummy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 4, 5. The left. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I don't know how I'm doing, but what I should be doing is kind of drop my neck and my head in an effort to get nearer to the mat. I really want to keep a straightish line here. I shouldn't be cheating too much. Okay. Straighten up. Let the weight drop out a bit. And then introduce something. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still keep the child's pose. And forward up. Some. Face the floor. Curl your hands. And then and slow. So any questions about the warm-up exercise? Everybody just kind of breezes through those, but is there anything you wanted to ask? I will take silence as a no, but you're welcome to at any time. I do mix up a few yoga moves inside the Aikido moves. So I just think they're good for your body. All right, more of this. So I thought we would look at soft touch and the impact of that. So kind of grab and pull, you get that sort of response. But when you kind of glide into this, you get this kind of thing going on. So this is like a caress, right? But as I'm doing it, I'm extending ki as well. I'm merging my ki with Laura's. And when they're blended, then we move together. If there's any part of me saying, come this way, Laura, you get that kind of response if you've got somebody who's centered and grounded. So just as a good exercise, literally you glide. You just see that little downward movement there. Watch Laura's arm as I do this. It's just a little bit of downward movement. If I try to push it down, then it doesn't go right. But this is just the weight of my arm that's doing that. So I'm just going to try that move. Yeah, that's not bad. You could start off, so I'll just need to start to get up there out of the way. And then this way. Just a little bit of a gap here, this becomes a bit more awkward. So just by coming a little bit closer already, it's kind of this kind of movement. Because we're connected here where my elbow is now. So just try that. Let's just shift you across a little. Remember when I said last week, if you move first, you've lost. Let her move. There you go. It's a big ask, Laura. Yes, 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 yes. Perfect. What difference it makes when you're not trying to anticipate the fact that she should be moving? Point for. Yes, very nice. Just try that on the other side. I don't mind. Good. So I don't know if you notice, for Laura, literally, there's kind of like a gap between her hand and the thumb. There was no attempt to grip. She stuck with that, so that she didn't get tempted to grab. It's okay to wrap your fingers round, as long as you don't get into that grabby thing. As soon as I grab, she doesn't move. But if I just stop when it stops, it's fine. But people do have a tendency, if they've got something to grab hold of, to focus on that. Okay. And then not to draw into a circle. Far off. Give me a bit more weight. Okay, let's go again. Okay, so just your circus finger, just forcing it a little bit. Your other step close to your body. Don't want to let your elbows stray away from your body, because if you catch my fingers now, quite easy to move in, but here, yeah, not so easy. So try to do most of your technique in this place, not that place. It's everything really, really difficult. Okay. One of the kind of secrets of Aikido is to let go and rely on your partner. Right? So if I'm kind of holding my hands there, nothing really happens in any direction. If I give her my hands, so she's now supporting them, you know, she'll follow. So on this one, it was just give her the weight. I'm not trying to force it, I'm just giving her the weight. Yeah. So it's always about giving a present, really. I'm not trying to force, I'm just giving a little bit of myself here. Or if you want in plain English, I'm just using gravity. I don't know when her hand's going to stop. I'm not worried about that. I'm just letting her support. That's me trying to force it. Doesn't work. Just give her the weight. Now it's easy. Do you want to try that one? So we're doing this in static movements, but these are habits that we need to build into our Aikido. Because if we can't do this standing in a simple exercise, what chance is there of you doing it when you're excited and you're being attacked on the move? Kind of, it's not going to happen. So you need to cultivate it here first and get the feeling, and then when you introduce movement, it becomes much easier. How are you struggling a little bit or not? How are you? So already I can feel you wanting to do this. So just literally, just let go. Just give me the ah. Can you see that I moved first? Well, as soon as I can feel, oh, he should be moving now. That desire, no, why not? I'm not going to just give me it. And then when you see me moving, you follow. It's always me that does the first move. And there always will be a little bit of movement. Or just that slack that's been taken out by the gravity is all you need. The first movement's tiny, but everything else will follow from that. No one wants to resist at this stage. There's nothing to resist. But they've already lost their balance. So I think you're already pushing. Yeah. So it's just feeling. I mean, you can feel my weight. It's not that feeling. That's a push. This is just, I'm using you to support me effectively, or support my arm. That's what you need to do there. So let me have your hand. Give me the weight. Thank you. Good. At some point, I'm just going to drop it. That's the movement we're looking for. Now carry it on, and you've done it. Yeah. So you can get used to that feeling of just letting the weight go. Cool. See the movement we got, and then we continue. Now, what we need to do is be able to drop it from an inch. If you want the result too much, you don't need it. Well, and, you know, it helps. I don't really want to land up there. I want to land on the end of the ring. You see? Then I've got the movement. But it helps if I make sure that when I'm positioned to drop, I know it's going to fall onto the top. So just get higher and drop. There you go. There you got it. And carry on. It's gone.
Let's see what's down.
Yep.
I stop.
Can you feel the hand going backwards as well? Bounce down. It's not easy, Stu. It's it was easy. It's easy and it's hard. No, I can't feel anything yet. I'll drop it. Oh. So it really helps if you've got something that can correct you, right? So I know what this feels like. If I just let go and drop it, I know what that flow of down actually is. To do that from here takes a lot of confidence. Because I can see the barrier in the way, so I've already kind of stopped my mind. After a while, it doesn't stop, it just goes. But if I'm struggling, if I can't do it, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Go back to something easier. Boom. Correct it, get the feeling back in your body, your turn, and then you'll be fine. So you're kind of preparing, don't prepare. I don't mind if you lift up, but you use everything going down, but don't go up to go down. That may sound a bit weird. Okay, so if I'm thinking, okay, I can never do it from here. So what I need to go is I need all sorts of power. I'm too wrapped up in the exercise. Okay, it's like someone's winding this up. I'm not going to worry about how it got there. I'm just going to let it drop. So as long as I'm not thinking too much about the up, I'm just letting that be there. So I've got a nice long distance to fall down. That's fine. But don't think, I need to try harder to do this. You don't. Good. All right. Well, we can do techniques through here. So if I push here, this is really hard. But if I just kind of roll that over, it goes over like knife through butter. So this is going to be tough. Can't do it, probably a little uncomfortable, which means she's going to survive. But if I caress this, again, you start to get that small movement that becomes a bigger movement. And notice how I follow her to stay connected. Yeah, I don't do this. Okay, because then I lose connection. I keep the connection for as long as I can. Just on the other side. You'll see that my hand ends up by dropping to my side. So I end up just, it's the same old exercise we did in the beginning warm-up, slightly different shape, coming from a slightly different position, but it's the same feeling. Okay. Feeling good to okay? Oh, the knee's gone. That's it. Really nice. Very good. Yeah, very, very good. Staying with your partner, you're keeping the touch light, you're letting that fall. Oh, crikey. Fortunately, we didn't have to test how solid that wall was or how solid your head was. So that's good. Just want to have a go? Give it a go. It doesn't matter if you do it or you don't. Just about getting around it. Nice. There you go. That's not almost. So there's a Aikido and Aikido, I think we call this. One's up and one's down. I think this is Aikido. I don't know. I can't remember. I bet Vitaly knows. You're kind of just doing this. There's not a lot of movement in the arm. It's this wrapping the wrist around. Maybe if I do this really slowly, you can kind of see how her body begins to shift. So she's upright, she's upright. Now there's a little bit of movement, and now I just follow that movement. So it's a bit like pushing a car from behind. Initially, it's hard to get the car moving, right? But once you've got it moving, it's easy to keep it on the go. So I need to get the car moving. Ah, car's moving. Let's go. All right, just go. You've got the chain moving. It's got the direction you want it. You're getting too much of a car rolling around. Good. Really nice. And that's exactly the same feeling, really. The one you felt all it's the same thing, just let me go. Yes. So that's how I feel. We both knew. Interesting. That's the listed thing. Yes, very good. So, if your partner can feel it, you'll get a reaction. Like she wants to hit me now. Okay? So you don't want her to really feel it, not in a nasty way anyway. It needs to be gentle. Okay, so we do another exercise. Okay, that will do. So here, so you 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, so you get lots of support. Okay, and you can lean back a little bit. Okay, so if I try to push you down, there's an awful lot of hip and leg beneath that to support even my biggest push from there. So I just give her the weight. And then I just drop my hips. So there's no push. There's no slap for her to feel and react to. I just give her the weight. That's how I do it. Again, just look at the micro movement in her body as I give her the weight. That was more than a micro movement. She's well and truly gone. Okay, so you're just looking to take that slack out of their system, and then you move your hips downwards. Don't try that.
Do it again.
So one question might be, well, if you're 5 foot nothing and you're working with someone 6'6", how do you do this? It's not going to work. You wouldn't try this on someone who was 6'6". Try something else. Did you have a question?
I had the feeling that when you were doing the previous exercise, it was kind of crossing a mountain, and you want to get on the other side of the mountain. It's different than trying to push. To push, you are on only one side and pushing the mountain.
Yeah,
then crossing it.
That's a nice way of putting it. You're literally just going up one side and down the other. And remember how I've told you that shoulder joints, wrist joints, elbow joints, they're very powerful places to place your energy and do stuff. Is that working? Yes, good. Show me, just one. Yes. Okay, that's pretty good. Swing back a bit. Where's her body going to fall in relation to this space? Not going forward, is it? Is it going to collapse right by my feet? No, it's going to collapse behind me because that's the only way for her bum to go, really, and her back and shoulders. She's got no way of compressing into this tiny little spot. So what can happen is I know she's going to fall there, so my mind follows there a bit, and that's what will happen. I have to be thinking of the 6 weeks. I want that. That's what's in my mind. That's where my mind goes. The fact that she's falling backwards is irrelevant to me. My power has to be down. Yeah, so just be laser and see what happens. So you had a big load of bricks. They're too heavy to carry. You just want them to drop to the floor. That's what will happen. They might tumble all over the place, but gravity is just pulling them straight down. Yeah, good. Okay. Just for fun. Yeah, it's all right. It's a little bit backwards. So think about once you've got this feeling here, which is fine. I'm not going to let you do any more with that. Now you're just going to drop your hips. Yes. So what you're doing here, you're giving me weight, you're taking the slack. There's no gaps between us. So we've got well connected. And now you drop your weight through the hips. I can't feel anything there, but this power is sucking you downwards. Yeah. As soon as you start getting tempted to use the thing that looks like it's the weapon, yes. Good. All right, so then we can apply this in. And here she grabs, just four. I've shown you this, and here's a good application for it. Trying to force it, it just doesn't work. Just letting gravity happen, it works very nicely. Too much effort. All right, so your turn, Lauren. This is good. Okay, so if she grabs me, just for the record, we're kind of sideways on so you can see, but vertical. Okay, and she tries to get her hand to mine. It's quite easy to stop me doing that. But in this circle, there's a lot of rotation that I can get. I shouldn't be trying to get out of that or break it. I'm happy to just turn within it, and then I can get there. Soft touch, less is more. I'll hold it. So just rotate. Aha. Aha. Yes. Good. So don't think about it, just turn it. Yeah. It's almost like when you're on this end, you feel them thinking, I've got to turn it. And as soon as they think that, you can stop them. They're just natural and it works. So if I put a pint of beer in front of you, Vitaly, what do? You reach out and you pick it up. You don't think, oh, pint of beer, how am I going to lift this up? You just do it. And that's how this must be. You just do it. Make it as natural as you can. Okay. It's a vodka in your case, or cider, of course. Yeah, she likes cider, that works well. How's it going? You can do. Can you put my hands below hers? Yeah. That's going to make it difficult, isn't it? So let's just raise it to there first. That's kind of that Aikido, saggy or Aggie, one of the two movements. Now I rotate. Oh, look, I've got the movement. And now I just swirl. So it's about thinking, what's the line I need to make to best connect? So her power's going maybe into the center at this point. Your power's going down there, probably. So if you make a line with it, now you're aligned and you can do stuff with it. I'll get the spirit in there rather than the feet. So line. That's it. You saw the movement, and then it was easy. Stand. Okay, so this is so here. And now move forward. Yes. So, if I do that bit, and when I walk forward, I keep the arm in front of me. It's a bit like taking the dog for a walk. Okay, nothing happens other than a nice walk. Okay, I need to bring her to me. Now I can do that by bringing her to me, or I can travel to her. But in either case, I need my arm by my side. That is not sufficient to take her down. Just leave that. So the difference in height between there and there is, I don't know, 18 inches. I haven't got a view on it, but it's quite a long way. It's easy for her to stay standing up right there, but it isn't so easy for keeper. Well, she can't do it. So that's where we want to go. So you've either got to go to your arm or bring your arm to you. Nice. Yeah, no, you have that. Right? Didn't work as I said, nice. down to the ground. Your feet.
Yes.
Yes, right. I've said this before, but I will say it again because it's well worth saying. If I'm thinking about the point of touch, and that's all I think of, this is not going to work. I have to be thinking beyond the point of touch. So I don't see this as a problem that I have to go through. This is just, I connect with it. And then I go. Yeah. If you think about maybe wood floating in still water, and then a rushing river comes along and it hits the still water. The logs in that still water don't think, oh, but we're going to stay here. They just get wrapped up in the flow and they go entirely with it. So that's a bit like this. I enter the flow, she enters the flow. In this example, she's the log. She's the log in still water. Here comes the rushing river and she gets caught up in that flow. It just goes. You've got waterfalls, you've got rushing rivers. Hey, wow, that was a good one. Very good, very good. Very nice. Guess what? It's the same here. So, of our two hands, this one on top, this one on the bottom, which one's the most important? Top or bottom? Vitaly. Top. Joe.
Bottom.
Bottom. Finn, you get the deciding vote. Come on, Finn, I know you're there. Top or bottom? You're going to vote with Joe or you're going to vote with Vitaly? I can't hear you because you're muted. You're still muted. Okay, yeah, that's cheating.
Yeah.
Top
sorry, I was muted. Gonna go with Joe.
You're going to go with Joe. Okay, Steve, where are you going? Top or bottom?
I think we go Joe, please. Yeah.
You're going with Joe. Well, very good. That's
Yeah.
2-2. It is bottom. That's the more important hand. This is just a bit of an encouragement, really. I mean, they're both there for a bit, but this top one is more inclined to push.
To top.
Yeah, the top hand is more inclined to push when it makes contact. This one just falls. You don't need the other hand. It's just a guide, really. It's a bit more. But when you see this technique done by a lot of schools, it's about pushing down hard. If anyone tells me, I would bet that you've had sore wrists from having this done to you. Okay. Or sometimes they do it that way. They go across the body, which is even more brutal, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But this is just dropping. So actually, I'm going through the elbow. My energy goes to her elbow, to her center, to her legs, to her feet. Yeah. It's the same feeling, guys. It's the same feeling. Any pain on your wrist? Yep. Okay. Let's hope there's no pain on mine. Just take it slack. Well, what does gravity do? How I do. Okay. So everybody's body reacts in a different way. I'm always looking for the bridging point. So at the moment, I've assumed where the bridging point is. Oh, it's not there. If I just drop the weight, it won't go any further. She's supported it now. That's the bridging point. Yeah. So I can't do that from up here. I've got to find the place where we connect. Oh, there it is. And it doesn't want to go any further. That's when I can do this easily. Caitlin's a different shape, she's a different height. It will be a different place, it's there. Now I would have to force it down if I were doing this brutally, but I don't, I think that. You have the wrist, any power, physical power. So I just wait until it stops, boom. I've found the bridge, now I can put it down. Okay, when we're on the mat and we're doing technique, do I think, oh, I've got to find the bridge, oh, I've got to stop now, and now I go? No, I don't. I just pass through it, I never stop with it. So it becomes much faster, but again, it's really important to explore the moment in a technique where you've created that bridge, where you can actually now work with your partner as opposed to just doing stuff. Does that make sense? Okay, go for it, girls. That's better. Walk a little bit, have a bit more confidence, and think always the floor and it all works. Isn't it interesting how the instructions are really, really simple, but even when you've been doing it for a while, to just let go is hard. It just is.
Pointing.
Yeah.
I was wondering that the upper hand could be used for the direction, like if I want to turn, but maybe turning you do with your foot and with your center if you want to drop her to other directions.
Yeah, I would.
And it's kind of a trap using this upper hand to, it's still a trap.
You're right, I would do it with my hips. I'll show that. I've tried to anyway. Okay, you're going to be a wall for me. You're going to stand there. Okay. So, imagine that I wanted to drop here. Obviously, if there was a wall behind, I wouldn't be doing Laura any favors. So I want to look after her. So I suddenly become aware there's a wall, so I just turn. Turn from my hips. So I'm not going to do that, because that to me is still being brutal. And I know you can jump over the top, but you know, it's nasty. I don't like doing that. So I just take her with me and drop where I want to drop. Does that answer that? Great.
Thank you.
That's nice. And if, after a while, because we made it difficult by just having one hand, but we can add extra weights. One weight, two weights, and that's the job's done. So, that's it, 1 pound, 2 pounds, there you go, easy. So to build up the confidence, get the feeling right, yeah, by all means, it's only the weight drain. Nice. Something more. Yeah. Right. So again, if I try and force this, I'm telling you now, if you do this with one finger, it hurts. So don't do that. It's a good way of testing that you're not forcing it. What line can you move without her resisting? So I come up, it goes up as far as it wants, and then I drop down her center line. And now I can come up. So I don't create barriers in this. Where I want to, my fingers give me lots of signals. Where will she go? If it starts to hurt me, I've done it wrong. You want to try?
But Sensei, if you take the center line as a spiral coming into the body, that will make them part of the stick. Therefore, it makes it easier to control.
I don't doubt it. I have to say I'm absolutely lousy in thinking in spirals. I can't think in spirals and think up and down at the same time. So I just concentrate on the up and down. So if you can do the spirals, brilliant.
Yeah, because you're moving the stick around in an arc form to.
Yeah, look, this kind of there.
There's a down somewhere.
That's nice. You've done the hard work. So once we've got a partner here, then this hand comes in.
Mhm.
The second hand comes in, and it just puts gravity down again. So if I try to force this, I'm trying to force it. Yes, please. She can stand up. There's something to resist. If I just put my weight there,
Yeah.
notice how my arms are right by my side. I've got a really good connection here. No, she can't get up because all the weight's going down. The gap in this, dead easy for her to get up. So
Yeah.
this one, again, it's not smashing through. It's a caress. On the technique we've just done, I don't really need to do anything other than place it there. And if I wanted to concentrate on moving the elbow, it would be like that Aikido feeling. I'd be going over the top of the mountain and down the other side. Now, as soon as she feels me trying to force her arm forwards, I get resistance, I get counted, as I should do. Right? But if she can't feel it, it's very difficult to resist. So now we've got two exercises. We've got one here and here. And one when we're concentrating on the elbow. And dropping back. That feeling. Again, see that shape I'm creating? Okay, off you go. Every one of these is about light touch, silky touch. Nice. Look good, look good. Yeah, nice. Look good. Yes, well observed. Nice, very good. Good. Okay. Go. Okay. Can you see when you bend it up? You don't get it going onto her shoulder. You want to be dropping on that line then. Okay, so now your arm's way out there. I think you look at it. More to you. Yeah, nice. You know, it's a funny thing, but when you drop your arm down, it always goes to your side. 100%, 100 times out of 100, it always drops to your side. It never kind of does that.
Mhm.
One of those best practices you can do without other people there is just raising and dropping your hands, getting used to that feeling and seeing where your hands drop to. And they always drop slightly in front of your body if you focus downwards. Focusing backwards, they might swing back a bit. But don't, focus down. And feel the power of boom. The power of boom while staying soft. Boom. Yes. Good. Boom. What did you feel?
Resistance.
I thought you right. And I just rise and circle. Very easy. So again, I don't try to force this down. They're vulnerable and it hurts. And again, this is another one where when it's forced on you, know it hurts. We're doing Nikio, Steve. I meet, I turn, I drop. We find the bridging point. That's the bridging point where she holds me up. Then we just add a bit. So you can't see, but I'm simulating dropping drops of rain. Just try and get a picture in my head that's nice and light. I'm not trying to drop an iron barrel on her. I'm trying to just gently let the rain fall. It can be very dynamic. It can be slow. It can be like a lightning bolt. Does it hurt? When you get up, is there any feeling of pain? Is there any way that you could stand up while I'm doing this? So it's very compelling, but it's not enforcing. It's not me trying to overwhelm Laura and she either crumbles and it works or she wants to resist me. This is a blend. I've got the bridge now, she's kind of gone, so you know, I hardly need to do anything. Okay, so don't let your arms pull back to you, kind of a thing you do actually. Okay. Right, now just walk. No, don't do anything yet, just where does it stop? Where's the bridge? Got it? Yeah, now you can carry on. It's worth just discovering that. And then once you're happy that, oh yeah, there is a place, then you just pass through it. How do you know you found the bridge? Any movement you've got between you and your partner stops. If you go beyond that point, then you start to create something they can feel and something that they will resist. Up until that point, they'll move, okay, because there's nothing threatening in it. It's only when it becomes threatening that you get resistance. You just want to come into movement. Yeah. So it's possible to do it when you've got your partner's kind of got a straight arm like this, but it's better if you can get them kind of there. So come up. If I force it, I get resistance. I've still got the straight arm. But if I can press, we get that bend. It doesn't realise it's bent until it's gone. So there's no element of forcing that. Yep. Up, around. So the turn is like I'm caught here. I don't try to enter her space. I just take this moment to turn. And now I can. But notice I enter not with my hand. Get resistance straight away. I observe that. I enter with my center. Yep. What she can't feel, she can't resist. You're going to be irresistible, Kate. Yes. Just get there. Now into the hips. Ah, did you see that extra bit of bend that we got? If you stop, if you stop there, it's not the same as there. And now then. Can you see this on the screen? Can you see the subtlety? It's only a small thing, but it makes a big difference.
There is an S shape that you do. It's kind of you enter her space and then get back to yours.
You know, I've told you how important it is to do this thing with the wrists in so many techniques. If you only half do it, you never get to the point where it actually has the impact. You need to fully open and fully close. Yes? Good. Marks. Okay, so here, she's got two hands. Very easy to panic and try and pull away, and then I get all of her and I'm in trouble. What she's got is my forearm. She hasn't got the rest of me. As long as I'm relaxed enough to let her have this, so there's no perceptible movement that's really big that's for her to react to when I'm entering with my body. Now I'm trying to do it with my arm. No, I want my arm back. Okay, so I get resistance straight away, but as long as I say, no, you can have my arm, except she's got my arm, then I can move. And then I can bring all this to bear. So, you know, talk about silky and light. I don't want her to feel. I've shown this before. But this drop, again, if I try to do that hard, it's tough, but I just use the support. It's exactly the same as the palm of my hand. I just give it a weight, boom, there's a stop point, but I travel through. And I'm going right the way to the floor, even though she's falling backwards. So I have to get used to it. Oh, you can have that, that's yours, that's fine. And then I've got the rest of me to use. It's an advantage. While she's holding this, she's not holding anything else. That's where her mind is, and I know that. So I can do that. So she's not on my wrist. There's lots of movement here. As soon as I try to, I'm dead. Well, you can't middle. Or I can go to Aikido. But as long as I'm not trying to force her, anything's possible. There's the end of her power. So I can move this in all sorts of directions. This is fun. So I can move her that way, or I can come to her. But always I'm just leading her along. No. If this was a hose, I'm a fireman, okay, I want to hold the end of the hose here and put the fire out. If I hold it here, this is doing this all over the place and water's going everywhere. So I want to control her from the end of the hose. Or I can help her point the hose. Okay. Oh. All sorts of things. Just get to on the side. Lighter? No, so I can get to it. So, but anything you can't get to us, so don't try just touch the wrist so she will follow. And that, just want to drop. They just want to drop one down. So it's very liberating when you've got this fundamental idea that when you're at the end of the hose, you can be very creative about the movements that you produce. Once you've got them on the move, all sorts of things will appear. But until you've got them on the move with ease, everything's a struggle.
Oh, I don't do things.
Well, two's better than none. Yeah, give it up, make them work. That's okay. Don't get into your arms for a reason. Well, you've got some good stuff, but here, I've not really got control of. She wants to walk away. She can. Well, once I'm here, and I get hold of her, she wants to walk away.
No.
She can't walk away. So you can hold on the side of the face, or you can just give her a little hug. Can you walk away? No. And then you just. Because guess what? Her mind's here. That's what she's feeling. She doesn't feel my hip turn. Let's try something. Yep, nice. Yeah, very good. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Very good, I think.
How could you create a little?
Yeah.
Ratio. Let's see how you do. Okay, so now I can feel it. Why don't you move it from the muzzle? Ah, that's good. So I try to lift my whole body when all you've got to move is this bit. Then the rest of the arm will follow. Nice. Yeah. So is there any way I can resist that movement? Oh. If I went up against you, you can resist it. But this way you have to follow, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's about looking for, well, can I go there? No. Can I go there? No. Oh, I could go this way. Oh, then I can help you. Then I can go down. Oh, isn't that marvelous? Feel where the walls are. Yeah. Well, drop. Then now drop again. So we all struggle. So, I don't have to go there because I'm that tall. But if you got your elbow, it's lower than me. So I will go. You have the power of being lower. You don't have to be higher. Perfect. So don't be intimidated by someone that's taller or shorter than you. Use the advantage of being taller by going a bit higher. If you're lower, you are lower. The nearer to the ground, it's going to be better. Okay. Again, I'm trying to force my way. I let her have my hands. I move this way. Here's the end of the hose. Very happy to go that way. But if I try to break the power of the water, it's hard. So I go in, then I get it. Boom. So I try to touch her belt. Gentle stuff that she can't feel, quite effective. And you can do that shoulder thing maybe, or not, because she knew it's coming. You always go where they don't expect it to be. All right, have a go. Nice, very nice. Very good. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. So it's useful to remember that it's not about making the same shape every time. It's about making the right shape for the moment with the partner that you've got. So there's no right or wrong way to, well, there are wrong ways to do tension agi, but there are many right ways to do it depending on the body you're working with and the energy you're working with. Yeah. So I could come this way to do it, or I could come in, or I could come to the shoulder, or I could concentrate on the other hand, this one. Or I can concentrate on both of them. Or I can bring it to me. Or I can go to her. They're all variations. They're all correct because I'm never trying to go against her power. I'm just seeing where it is and what the possibilities are. And when she's kind of in neutral mode, which is doing it from static, it's definitely in neutral mode. Well, then we've got this way, we've got that way, we've got this way, we've got that way, we've got sideways, we've got all sorts of directions that we can go. But if she's coming in, then we definitely have powers coming in, so I'm going to use that. Make this work. I'll just make her go down and up by the time she's arrived. Yeah. So I'm just changing I'm literally steering the car where I want it to go. You know, she's got plenty of power, but can I make it turn a corner? Yes, I can. Okay, off we go. Drive the car. Very nice. Let's go at this now. Have some fun. That's good. Excellent. Coaching stones.
We're going to go fast. Sorry.
Alrighty. Just attack our center a little bit more. What we can do, so we know we've got the down hand, that's dead easy to know where that's going to go. Same old place, it always does. Down to my side, right? This one, try to keep on touching her belt. So I'm not trying to go against her power, so we should be able to stop that. I'm not trying to go in at all. I'm thinking about touching her belt or just below it. If I can do that, then I can come up, then I can turn. Yeah, so really make sure that you don't touch. You're going to narrow the gap between you and her. Yes. Now make sure you land on the center.
Sorry.
No, that's good. I think the more I saw,
That felt good.
So when we have a very direct attack like shown, it's very easy to get into blocky mode, right? And if ever you do that for a while, you end up with very bruised wrists. You either get hit and you get bruised wrists because they're hitting you, or they get bruised because you're constantly hitting them. So how do we get the silky practice that we want? We don't block, we follow. There's no block here. Now she's lost the balance. So if she lifts up, I lift up. Then we go down. If she went down, I'll go down. Then I'll go up. So rather than entering, which is probably the up one, I could do this. Down. And then blend. But I don't try and get in the way. If I'm going to do the down one, I'll help her down. I'm going to do the up one. I'll go up. But always I try to agree with the direction of the energy. Yep. You can finish it. Well, you can still my elbow in the face. So he's probably sorry for you rather than me. That's okay. That's good. Practice from there. So you get closer, and you take your arms go to your side. Yes. Very good. Okay. Get closer. Drop your arms. There you go. Back. Good. Okay, a little bit of a height differential here. I'll exacerbate that. By trying to go up to where her top hand is, this is a recipe for disaster. But I control here. Can you come down? No. But I can help you down. Yep. So I still go up, so I can't reach any further than here comfortably. So that's where I stop. I don't make any attempt to compromise my body. I'll stay here. Now she wants to come down, so I help her. Remember, this is unbendable arm. So I could stay here all day long with her trying to get down. That would be a bit boring for us all. Okay, so I'll help her get down. Why get in the way when I don't have to? She's given me everything I need to throw her. And at this point, she doesn't even know I'm there. If I get this right, she doesn't know I've stopped her coming down if I want to. Do you want to try? I bet you might be that. You don't need to kneel down. Yeah. Yeah, nice. Good. Okay, so the point I want you to notice is that you have a habit. This one's quite close to habit. This one's quite a long way from your body, and you want it to be here. So if I can't bring it to me and from this place, it's quite difficult. How am I going to do it? I'm going to go to her. Now try and get up. Get up. Get up. So now I've got her. All I've got to do is add just a bit more down. But you don't feel it on the arm, do you? No. Yeah, so nice. Excellent. Okay, so slowly. So this one, she's aiming to hit me here. I want her to think she's got me until I'm not. I'm just going to disappear. So the safest place to be with someone who has a sword is underneath the blade, because then they're not going to change the direction of the cut. They're going to stay directly on that line. Underneath the blade until you're not. Underneath, no. Oh, that's interesting. Look. So it's like you're an interested spectator. What's this? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Now you join with it and you go. So in a way, you've been joined with it all along because you were watching it. Oh, yeah, okay. She was down. I helped her down a bit further. Then she wanted to come up, and the rest happened. Off we go. So you can use these lines over this one, so they can see better here. to be the guy. So you're going to cut on that one, and that's the line you're going to walk under before you turn away. You need to bear in mind, she didn't come with the right hand, you had to do something different. Never assume.
Right, held it first.
You're attacking with that hand. Traditionally you attack with that.
I want to go
No.
first. Why do I
Let's
want to go that way?
say
Uh-oh.
one for you, one for me. Right, so if you were attacking on this side,
Yeah,
so you're going to attack on this side.
that's right, yeah.
No, do it. That's what happens, right? If she attacks on the inside, and I follow, she runs onto the point of my sword before she has a chance to strike me. On this side, she has a chance to hit me.
The hit you.
Yes, I don't know who to hit. She got a chance to hit me. So, and if we see more of this with the hands. Okay. So, if you were going to strike me with that hand, let's say even, right? But if you try to hit me with that hand, you see, she never gets the chance to enter here if I'm calm, because she gets it straight long before she hits me. So you never attack on that side in this position. That's how we always know how to attack, because one is just never safe for us. The other one is ish, unless we're practicing Aikido, in which case it's never safe to attack. Okay, so how do I present myself? Traditionally, I'll stand with one hand foot forward and one foot slightly back in hand. Okay, and I've got the, so my sword's for one hand's definitely forward. But really, this is quite aggressive, right? It's almost inviting the attack. So in the end, we want to get to a position where I'm very open to you. Now, I've got neither foot forward. I'm not presuming anything. I don't know what hand she's going to attack with. Doesn't matter. Attack with the other hand. I can still blend with this. So she's got a choice, and I'm not trying to control her in any way. So we don't necessarily start like this because we need to build our confidence in this. So I will start with a foot forward. This is easier to feel safer. Somehow. But it is a bit more fighty. Have a look. Oh yeah, we're doing something else as well. We weren't doing it together. So remember you were doing a coconut. But it means that we're going to attack that hand. That was the whole point of stopping. I remember now.
I was doing that one.
And you will. So just watch. Yeah, okay.
Face down.
Look at me slowly. Oh, what's going on there? Yeah, sometimes you just go down and then up. And sometimes just the down is enough. You don't need the rest. But kind of without the hands, it's all there. Okay, I'm looking down at the ground now just to show where my attention is. But I would never do this in reality because I don't want to make these shapes. I want to keep these shapes. Yeah. I remember why I said it. Woo! Yeah, she did that. You're just going to drop down. Now you shift it down. Absolutely. Don't assume what's going to happen next. Just feel it. No, I don't think you did actually, but I think what you did was you went in too deeply, and then you knew it felt wrong, and then you didn't know what to do. You need to be right by her side. Yeah.
Comedy sketch somewhere that does.
Yeah. Right. That's the one. Often in our Aikido moves, they're a bit like magic tricks. What you want to do is draw your partner's attention to this, so that that can do something. If this is trying to do something when she hasn't got her mind engaged here, then she uses it here. You just move the mind. Just move the mind. You can be very, very subtle about it. You have someone blowing your ear. Oh, what the hell was that? Okay, that's very mind reading. You can be very light in how you do it. So find entertaining ways to move your partner's mind.
I'm not fun and entertaining. I am with help.
What you did, Quentin? I didn't notice.
I put my finger in her ear.
That's so unfair.
I know. Well, she ran away. She did run away, so that's quite good. Yeah, nice. Now we're going to just slide down a bit. I'm going to lie face down on the mat. Yeah. Okay. This is quite a nice way to finish the lesson. Basically, think about playing the bongos. Okay. So if I hit them hard, I don't get that nice resonance out of the drum. You know, I kind of kill the sound by trying to bash my way through the skin. So my wrists have to be very soft, and I cut them. I create a cup shape. I do this energy. This is quite a nice way to finish the girls. So although it doesn't necessarily look like it, again, it's an exercise in connection, about feeling how powerfully you can do this without kind of getting your partner to be wincing because you're slapping them too hard. You're also putting energy into this. So it should be a lively and pleasant experience. We'll find out after the event. Oh, you break her back. Is that good for you? Okay, we'll do the same for Laura then. More cupping. A little bit more cupping. As opposed to flat. That's it. Bit more flat. Don't wait to speed up as if you let the wrist waggle. That's it. How fast can you go? Let's see how fast you can go. Yay! Once away. Next week, if you like, we'll look at some healing uses for ki. So looking at techniques you can use for headaches and things like that. Okay. Any questions on the floor or off the floor? Okay, cool. Then let's bow out. So yeah, we'll keep these sideways on and include them in the bow. Now we. Phew. So just so you know, I'm away next week. So we'll give it a miss for next week. But I'd love to see you the week after that if you're about. Okay,
Thank you very much, Quentin.
my pleasure. Have a good week.